Few transformations in Earth's history were this dramatic. A tiny change in Earth's orbit changed the fate of an entire continent. Then the rains weakened, and the countdown began. Long before cities existed, a single hidden resource would change everything.
This is the Sahara, not a desert, a paradise. Hippos lived here. Crocodiles hunted here. Millions of animals thrived here. People did not simply survive here. They flourished here.
In one of the harshest environments on Earth, survival depended on finding what others could not.
Every year, the rains arrived. Every year, the Sahara came alive. What began as a temporary camp was slowly becoming something much larger. No one was worried. The Sahara still felt immortal. Yet the countdown had already begun. The water was slowly disappearing. For the first time, the Sahara was becoming drier.
The people adapted, but they could not stop what was coming.
The animals noticed first.
The paradise still existed, but now it was dying.
The change was still slow, but now everyone could see it. The rains were weakening. Year after year, the water retreated. The greatest challenge was no longer finding water, but controlling it. For the first time, some families began moving away. The paradise was becoming harder to recognize. Rivers that had flowed for centuries were beginning to disappear. The Sahara was entering a new age. An age without enough rain. Entire communities were forced to follow the shrinking water.
Life was still here, but less of it every year.
The giant lakes that once looked eternal were falling apart.
What had taken thousands of years to build was disappearing.
The land was losing its battle against the sky. Every year, the remaining water became more precious. Something new was arriving. Sand. The desert was being born. For thousands of years, the Sahara had been green. Now the sand was taking it back. People left. Animals left. The water left. The world that once existed here was fading from memory. Generation after generation, the desert moved forward.
The green Sahara was dying, and the worst was still to come.
The lakes were almost gone, but the desert was still growing. The last survivors gathered around the remaining water. What was once a paradise had become an island of life. The Sahara no longer looked alive. The great migrations were over. Most animals had already left. The desert was erasing its own history. Few people remembered the world that once existed here. The transformation was nearly complete. Now only travelers passed through this forgotten land. The Sahara was no longer a home. It was a barrier. People learned to survive the desert, but they could never bring back the lakes. The Sahara had become one of the world's greatest natural obstacles. Few places on Earth looked more hostile than this. Yet beneath the sand, the old world still remained hidden. The Sahara was hiding a secret. A secret no one would fully understand for centuries. By now, the Green Sahara seemed impossible to imagine. The desert appeared eternal. No one suspected this place had once been filled with rivers and wildlife. The evidence was still here, waiting to be discovered. For thousands of years, the desert seemed permanent, but the truth was buried beneath it. Hidden beneath the sand were clues from another world. The Sahara was slowly giving up its secrets. Strange discoveries began appearing where no one expected them. The deeper scientists dug, the stranger the Sahara became. Animals that required water had once lived here.
Crocodiles, fish, hippopotamuses. The desert should not have contained any of them.
Every discovery pointed to the same conclusion. The Sahara had once been wet.
The Sahara had once contained lakes larger than some modern countries.
But how could an entire paradise disappear?
The answer was larger than anyone imagined. An entire ecosystem had vanished. Scientists were beginning to see the lost world. The evidence was overwhelming. The Sahara had once been alive. Everything people thought they knew about the Sahara was changing. Even from space, the scars of the Green Sahara could still be seen. The mystery was finally being solved. This desert was not born overnight. It died slowly.
Beneath every dune lies the memory of a lost paradise.
The Sahara still remembers what it used to be. You just have to know where to look. Beneath these dunes once flowed rivers that lasted for thousands of years. Forests once stood where today nothing grows.
Millions of animals once crossed this land searching for water.
It sounds impossible, but hippos once lived in the Sahara.
Entire communities built their lives around water that no longer exists. Then the rains weakened, and the countdown began. A tiny change in Earth's orbit changed the fate of an entire continent. The desert did not simply arrive. It slowly erased a world. Most of that lost world remains buried, even today. Scientists are still discovering evidence of the Green Sahara.
Every discovery reveals just how different this place once was. Few transformations in Earth's history were this dramatic. The evidence was hidden in plain sight the entire time.
For thousands of years, this was one of the richest environments in Africa. It is difficult to imagine this land as anything other than desert. But history tells a different story. 12,000 years of change transformed a paradise into a wasteland.
For the people living here, the future looked endless.
The Green Sahara is gone, but its story remains written beneath the desert.
This was the story of how one of Earth's greatest paradises became the Sahara Desert. What transformation should we witness next?